Bust it.
Shake and bake in full effect.
Oh my God.
Let me show you something.
Go on and get some, boys.
That is why they gonna be.
In the great hall of the Justice League, there are assembled the world's three greatest heroes, created from the cosmic legends of the universe. Their mission, to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind.
What's up, YouTubeites? Welcome to Lords of the Longbox, episode 134. Yes, 134. I can't believe we're going that far. This is the special TiVo edition of my birthday. It's a deep, dark secret out there, but I just turned 28 years old today. So a shout out to everybody in the live chat. We got a huge show. We got a San Diego Comic-Con recap show. We got a little Black Knight report. If we got some time, we're going to go through all kinds of stuff. We got a special guest here. But first off, before all of that, let me pay off some bills, man. This show is sponsored by thegeekyswagshop.com. Damn it, I forgot the graphic, but there you go. This show is sponsored by thegeekyswagshop.com. Go to thegeekyswagshop.com. Use the discount code of LOTLB to get 15% off anything in the geekyswagshop.com, including the Lords of the Longbox shoe.
That's right.
Worn by 3/4 of tonight's panel. Sorry. And also the show is sponsored by KRSComics.com. Go to KRSComics.com. Use the discount code of LOTLB to get 10% off any KRS Comics exclusives. I got a bunch of stuff left over from San Diego Comic-Con, so go peep that out. Shout out to everybody who's been tailgating in live chat. First, I want to introduce a special guest we have. Well, let me just bring in the usual suspects. I got my man, Nemesis Prime. Say what's up to the party people.
What's going on, everybody? Wednesday night, really ready to party for this post-San Diego Comic-Con news. So hope you're excited. Hope you're ready and waiting.
All right. I also got my man, Otto from the Grotto. Say what's up.
What's up, everybody? You know, we got to give a big shout out to my boy TiVo right here. It's his birthday. I'm rocking a live show tonight on his birthday. Congratulations, man. It must be great to turn 28. You know what I mean? After 20 years, man.
No, it only happens twice.
Twice. I hear you, bro. I hear you.
Like that.
And here's to Jesse for jumping in on us. Jesse, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Our man, Darkside Jedi, is on the download. He's on this disabled list with his recovering from back surgery, so he may be lurking there in the live chat. But my man, our special guest panelist, Jesse from JLS Comics. Say what's up to the people.
What's up, everybody? Happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me on your birthday. I can't believe that's your present. Happy birthday to you.
I know. I didn't even say anything in the YouTube notes that it's a birthday special because I'm modest that way.
There you go. Yeah, thanks for inviting me. Not only your birthday, but post San Diego. You know, it's a cool show. A lot of stuff to talk about.
That's right.
So pretty happy to be here.
So shout out to everybody wishing me happy birthday on Facebook, on Instagram, and my man cousin Jay and guy making me the special little Doctor Strange Photoshop for his birthday. It's kind of a sad picture. Doctor Strange sitting there all by himself. You know, it's from the Jimmy Kimmel skit where he's doing birthday with those balloons and shit for the kids. But he photoshopped my face on there and says happy birthday. Shout out to Ray Jr. in the live chat, my friend Sith Lordley in the house, Swaggernaut 88, Chad Crow, they were all in there tailgating early. Red Matos, Marty from Comic Book Fanatics he's just back on the scene, man. Good to see you back, Marty. Gorilla Grodd, Dave in the Cave, H-Town Comics, New Comic Smell. I wonder what that smells like. Mr. Gretzy 9966, Stay Puff 1983, our friend from Instagram, Snizzle Pop, Johnny Boy, known on the Instagrams as Boy Johnny. Carter Lee, I appreciate that. And you know what? Let me see if I can make use of this. Let's see if this works. Hey, look at that. Carter Lee wished me a happy birthday, and I just posted it. And I wanted to see if this works in the live chat. Matter of fact, that Jesse, I think you muted yourself, but it's all right.
I'm unmuted. Yeah,
it's funny that this thing says, I'm trying to see if this works. It does. Look at that. So I can highlight people's live chats throughout the show. You know what? Here, give everybody some love. There you go. There you go, everybody. There we go. There you go. Everybody. Just scrolling through. Everybody wobbles. Yeah, this way. Next time when I introduce everybody, I'm just going to show their faces up here.
Love it.
You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about what's been going on, man. There was a huge week, obviously. The San Diego Comic-Con. I know Jesse and I were like live tweeting and live posting back and forth with each other. And, I was going to go live Saturday night. Man, I was exhausted. I was just like technically exhausted with all that, you know what I mean? And it was just such a giant news. Jesse, let me add before we get into it, Jesse, how were you absorbing the news as it was coming out? Obviously, neither of us were in Hall H. Were you just going off of live tweets like I was?
Yeah, live tweets, following the right channels, the right people, and hitting those screenshots where I couldn't resharing them. But that's a lot of work. And 90 minutes of doing that, man, I was tired too.
Can you imagine the guys that were actually in Hall H and they were like live tweet? And it's almost to me like, man, you almost kind of want to just enjoy it and not have to live tweet, but they're also social media people. So our friend the Big To Do was actually in Hall H. So he's like texting me after the fact, oh, just Doctor Strange is coming. I said, I know, man, I've been following the live tweets, but he was there and he said there was he's been there probably 6-7 years in a row now at Hall H. He's got one of his good friends is the director of marketing for San Diego Comic-Con. Okay. So he doesn't wait in line. He just shows up and he just goes there. So he's been going for 6 years straight. I've been trying to get me to go. And then I always said, you gonna get me? And he goes, are you here? I was like, well, no, I'm not there. He goes, well, if you were here. I was like, well, shit.
Jeez.
Nice.
He said it was the buzz there was incredible. They said it was incredible that, the amount of energy and buzz that were happening, even afterward, everybody's talking about it. Fraggle Sock says, yes, made the live stream. Happy birthday, TiVo. You'll be glad to know I found Dakota North books. Who says Christmas doesn't come twice a year? You are correct. Congratulations to you. So let's kick it off with Justin. He's going to cover, there's so much stuff that we're all going to kind of take turns covering. We're going to do the Hall H stuff last, but Justin has a quick kind of DC rundown. DC didn't have a major cinematic presence there, but they did have other stuff there.
Yeah, absolutely. Being the DC guy, I mean, I was following that stuff. Anytime they announced something, they were going with it. So, right off the bat, of course, DC Comics, they're big on their animated movies, and I think that's one of their strong points right now. So next year, some stuff that you got going, you got the Superman Red Sun. If you don't know, that's Superman when he lands in the Ukrainian farm instead of landing in good old Kansas. You got the Justice League Dark Apocalypse, which is actually a sequel to the 2017.
So let's go back to Superman Red Sun, which if folks don't know, I believe it's an Elseworlds tale, right? So basically, what if Clark Kent landed? What if Baby Kal-El landed in Mother Russia instead of good old Kansas?
Yeah, it's great story. Yeah, you got Mark Miller in there.
Let me do something else here while we have that up. Is boom! It's a spec book alert. That's my pre-made banner for this. But go ahead. Batman's in it. Wonder Woman's in it, and it's an absolutely great story, as you can see by Mark Miller. You got a bunch of people writing on that as well as far as the artists. Next up, we do have the Justice League Dark Apocalypse. Like I said, that's a sequel to the last Justice League Dark movie. Unfortunately, there are no graphics for that. But hey, is that based off a comic at all, or?
No, I mean, what they're speculating is it's the way it is. It's apocalypse spelt like it is for the New Gods. So it's most likely going to involve the New Gods. So we're going to have to see Apocalypse. Maybe Darkseid will come, but who knows? But the best one, Batman, Death in the Family. And we all know what that book's about.
So for the children that don't know, man, this was obviously the death of Robin, but this is how kind of dark and twisted this thing was. There was a phone 1-800 number on the back of the comic.
Yeah,
you voted to see if Robin was going to make it, was going to be killed or alive. So basically, I think at the third part, right, is where they put up the number, and then the fourth issue they revealed whether Robin survived the beatdown from the Joker or not.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. And the crazy thing is, everyone voted kill him.
I know.
But there was a conspiracy theory or whatever. People were saying that that somebody had like a robodialer, and they kept calling in and voting on the death option.
Yeah, I heard that before too.
Yeah,
that's definitely something that's out there. So, but yeah, I mean, Death in the Family is a great storyline. You got Jim Starlin doing Batman. So they've kind of touched on this in that Batman Under the Red Hood movie, but this is going to be a great full-blown story with Jason Todd and Joker. So definitely look to get these books. I mean, they're pretty good books. I mean, this could actually spike these books. It's a 4-part series, all done by Starlin, and you got some nice Mike Mignola cover art. So
these would be good books to have Starlin sign if you can catch them, Justin. I might do that.
I actually have the third part where it's got Jason Todd on the cover with the blood.
Yeah.
signed by him. I got him at Baltimore
Damn it.
Comic Con a couple of
I
years
should've
ago.
downloaded it.
So moving on to some great, other news from the DC world. So of course, the DC streaming app. We do have season 2 of Teen Titans that's coming out September 6th, and of course, we all know the baddie, Deathstroke. He's going to be the first big villain for that season 2. And I mean, if you haven't seen, they did show some behind the scenes stuff. You do have Aqualad in there. Donna Troy's back. Oh, I know. That's great.
But this is not the Young Justice version of Aqualad, right? They're going like old school, like okay. So it's not because the Young Justice Aqualad was strictly for the animated series, not anything based on the comics, right?
No. This is the original Garth from I think Adventure Comics 269. So if you guys are looking for a nice book there, that's a good book to pick up. So that's his first appearance. Next up, they did announce season 4 of Young Justice. So as you were just speaking about that, Tim, season 4 got announced. So we're going to be looking at another season for Young Justice. Not sure what they're going to go with, but I'm excited for that. And of course, Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol season 2, it is renewed. But the best thing about this is it's going to be streaming simultaneously on the DC Universe app and also HBO Max, and we've talked about this before.
And this puts more credence to what we're talking about. That I think DC Universe is going away. I think they're trying to do a trial run. Shout out to Gem Mid Collectibles wishing me a happy birthday. Or us, we're all part of the same team. So, so what else you got?
And then last but not least, what are they big on? CW TV series, of course. So we have, of course, the Arrow final season. We have 8 episodes of that, with the last 2 episodes going to be the crossover event, Crisis on Infinite Earth. We do have Batwoman, and they did announce not only, of course, if you've seen the trailer, you know who the villain is, Alice, but they did just announce that you're going to be seeing Hush, Batman's all bandaged villain. So that's a nice little spec book right there, because they could build him up really good.
And Jesse, what was the thing with the Supermans and the cat from...
Oh, right. So they have Brandon Routh coming back to play Superman, but he's going to be more like the Kingdom Come Superman from what I hear. And then we also have Burt Ward, who's going to be in it. He was obviously Robin in Batman 66. He's going to be in that event via the Batwoman show. So pretty cool cameos.
So Darkside Jedi says, Young Justice Aqualad first appearance was Brightest Day #4. He thinks he is Black Manta's son. There you go. I highlighted that. Shout out to Comic Time 101, wishing us a happy birthday. I said us again because we're all part of the same team. So I wanted to talk about, because we actually talked about that in one of our shows, where that they are coming in with the Kingdom Come, and it's going to be part of, they're using Crisis in Infinite Earths, and the next big Arrowverse crossover is going to be Kingdom Come, and that's going to be on HBO Go. So you're seeing all the seeds now of what they're doing. No pun intended for CWC. Jesus, anybody use CWC anymore? Is that still a thing?
I think so. I think I got that somewhere on an app.
What show is on the CW? What is show is on the CWC? Does anybody know? I think there was an animated series with Starman, Star-Lord, what's the guy? Ray.
Yeah.
So that's yet another one that
the Vixen show was on there for a couple episodes. All the shows.
Oh, that's right.
The Arrow show was on there.
So I mean, so DC had a nice little show at San Diego Comic-Con. If it wasn't for Hall H, I mean, geez. I mean, now you kind of see why DC movies and Warner Brothers like, you know what, Marvel, I'm gonna let you have Hall H all to yourself there, because Kevin Feige slid up there and threw his thing down big time. But you know what, the DC TV stuff, like, they've always been killing it. You know what, they give more fan service than the movies do, I think. You know what I mean? By Brandon Routh just showing the Kingdom Come Superman logo, I mean, that's a direct fan service that you rarely get from Warner Brothers and the big movie studios. You know what I mean? Anything else, Justin, on that format?
No, I mean, other than, like Jesse said, I mean, that is the big thing. The Burt Ward and the Brandon Roth going to be doing the crossover. So seeing Superman suited up, that's not, someone who's previously done it. I mean, so maybe, by the time they start filming that, we could see something like Linda Carter, maybe Wonder Woman. So you never know.
Who has the same birthday as TiVo? Unbelievable.
Yeah. You know who else does? Felicity, or what's her name from Arrow? So, I saw her wish it happened.
Emily Blunt. Yeah. Emily.
On Arrow. What's her name? His Arrow's girlfriend, his wife, the blonde.
Felicity.
Felicity, yeah, her birthday too, but I hope she dies in the show.
Not in real life.
Happy birthday, by the way. All right, and there was something else that was teased like 2 weeks ago, or maybe a week ago, by the Russo brothers. Right? They put up a giant date, and everybody was like, "Oh, is this Avengers 5 stuff?" And all of us like, "No, it's not. It's most probably Russo's own project." But even this, none of those movie scoopers on the internet or the social media had guessed this at all. Otto, what is it?
We are talking about G-Force Battle of the Planets coming. We're talking about Grimjack. We got a lot of stuff going on. So let's get started with something I really, really think is fantastic, and that's Battle of the Planets, okay? Battle of the Planets is coming. It's a Russo brothers project. There's not a screenwriter involved with this yet. This is in the infancy stage of what they're talking about. But Anthony Russo was rocking the Battle of the Planets t-shirt during Hall H. And if that is something that you do on purpose, you do that on purpose. They want everybody to know. So for you guys out there, Battle of the Planets actually originated, and the original name was, follow me on this, Science Ninja Team Gotcha Man. And that came out in 1972.
Or we just call it Gotcha Man.
Gotcha Man. You're right. There you go. All right. But then it translated over to the United States, where it became Battle of the Planets. And now that's where I started watching it as a kid. And this was really cool because the characters, I think this will translate very well to the big screen. They have the villains that they fight out in space. Their main ship is called the Phoenix. And all the main characters, Jason, Princess, Keop, Mark, and Tiny, are all part of this ship. And those are great characters because I remember this. And this was very flamboyant. It was anime back in the early 70s. And it was just great graphics. And it was just something you can come home and watch, or I used to watch it first thing in the morning. It only ran for 85 episodes. But it really got you. And it really, I think if they did this in 2, maybe 3 movies, it would be great. But the Russos want to make this happen, but they've got some other stuff going on. Now, this was a gold key comic, and I was looking it up today. There's a 9.6 going for about $400 on eBay right now.
Which is crazy because this isn't even originally a comic book. This is originally an anime series.
Yeah, absolutely. So just a cool story, just part of my childhood. Really happy that, I saw this and Tim said, "Hey, do some stuff on this." I definitely did. I watched a couple episodes on YouTube and it was just really cool.
Animation
stuff.
was actually pretty good for the 70s back then. I mean, it's a shame that, nowadays when you look at anime on Netflix, it's all like horrible CGI. I mean, it's like 3D CGI. It's not like hand drawn anymore. It's just too time consuming nowadays. But this book has been done a lot over the past few years through different publishers. The rights have moved all over the place. There's a series that was done by Michael Turner. Yes, that Michael Turner. Rest in peace, Michael Turner. But he did some great freaking covers on Battle of Planets. As a matter of fact, I just snatched up 2 copies. So
you did. I got
this one right here is hard to get. This one is it's not even based on a comic book yet. That just shows you how big the comic book industry is.
Right. This is really cool. And now the other thing that they were talking about was Grimjack. Right? I mean, how many of us have heard about Grimjack? And this was difficult because I looked for some stuff and it was kind of hard for me to kind of find the information, but it was written by John Ostrander and Tim Truman. First comics, IDW. The first appearance of him was Star Slayer number 10.
Boom.
Yep, there you go. And that came out in 1983. So if you want to go on eBay, there might be some gone already. So Grimjack is a mercenary. It takes place in an alternate universe. And these mercenaries kind of go through their lives, kind of going backwards, finding out what happened with them. Grimjack then came out in its own book in 1984 and ran for 81 issues. So it went for a long time.
Anytime I hear Grimjack, I just think of Transformers.
I really do. My God. I see Grimlock. I mean, I had to practice this 10 times, you guys, so I didn't come on here and start saying Grimlock. So, but yeah, really cool. Like to see where they're going with it. And look, it even tells you on this book, introducing Grimjack. So here you have an introduction of a new character right there.
So it's a backup story, basically, is what it is. What's interesting about Star Slayer also is one of the issues has the second appearance of Rocketeer, and also one of the other issues of Star Slayer is one of the second appearance of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in color. Like, I don't know if it shows up as an ad or what, but it's pretty interesting, this kind of random comics that the Russo brothers have. It just goes to show you, if you do something really popular, man, it can blow up. Right.
Or if you just affect the right people at certain times, they remember that, so Battle of the Planets, G-Force, this, it stuck with them. And they said, hey, you know what? Someday we'll do this. And now look, you guys, we're reaping the benefits of that. And that's really cool.
This is proof that if you buy a book and wait 40 years, it might pay off.
It might, Jesse. It might.
If you just buy everything,
Yeah.
eventually you won't miss out. So no FOMO, fear of missing out. So I think that's it. So let's talk about the giant news. Was basically Hall H hold on. Oh yeah. Black Knight just sent me a message right now as we're talking that this is breaking news. Actually, just got from the Black Knight.
All right, here we go across the wire.
Grimjack is going to be put on Amazon Prime. I don't think this has been reported anywhere yet, but they've shopped it around, and Amazon Prime is going to be putting it out as a series. My phones are blowing up right now, so hold on, man. This is like breaking news, as the boys and girls
That
like.
seems like a good fit with their other content. Like The Boys is coming up. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that one, but that looks like really gritty and hard.
I was just reading the trade again, and it's absolutely freaking crazy. Grimjack is going to be a series, so it's going to be a TV show, not a. Oh, sorry, man. This stuff is just blown up all over the place. It's going to be on Amazon, and it's going to be a series. So probably 8 or 10 episodes. My guess is probably 8 episodes. So right in there with all the other stuff Amazon's doing with The Boys, which I think premieres next week. And I am going to totally stream. And I'm glad that, now we have another option for binge watching, because Amazon Prime pretty much does the same thing as Netflix. They put up all the episodes at once. So it's a good thing. So now let's move on to the Hall H stuff.
Right.
And let's do it the way that they kind of announced it at the at San Diego Comic-Con. They kept.
Hey, Tim, before you jump out there, we got a super chat from Comic Book Fanatics. Thanks for
Marty.
Thanks
Marty.
for the second info. Happy birthday, Tito.
Hey.
Thank you
Thanks
for the
for the
$20
super
super
chat.
chat, Marty. I'm going to need that $20 to pay back Marvel Studios when my video gets taken down for copyright infringement. What's funny is it's appearing close to someone on the panel pronounced a new Blade leading man. You know what? That's Otto's test later on.
No, stop. Come on.
Yeah. So I'm saving that for Otto. He's got a chance to practice. So let's start off the panel, man. So Hall H was the buzz. It was incredible for it. They first started off, and we'll just go off with what I have in my notes because it's easier for me that way. And I'll let Justin buy it. So we got the introduction to the Eternals dropping November 6th, 2020. And I'm going to do the Black Widow, even though Black Widow is the first movie on the slate. We'll talk about that last, since it was arguably the largest news of the day, since it had the some footage on it. That's amazing that they only showed footage for one movie, but there was cool little graphics and stuff that you may have missed. So the Eternals release date is November 6, 2020. The cast was announced as well. Jesse, any surprising? I'll go down the list here, and there's some surprises here that we didn't know about. And first off, Angelina Jolie is going to be playing Thena. Salma Hayek is the actual leader, whose age I believe they gender swapped that.
Yep,
correct?
absolutely.
Richard Madden is going to be Icarus. Kumail Nanjiani, I should have had.
No, please don't.
Is going to be Kingo, and I don't know if you guys saw Stuber, but that movie was pretty funny. And Kumail got yoked, man. Did you see how buffed he was at the Hall H? Yo, he was big. Lauren Ridloff is Makari. Brian Tyree Henry, who is in Atlanta, which is a great show, is Fastos. And Leah McPhee is Sprite. And an Asian actor named Don Lee is Gilgamesh, the forgotten one. So Gilgamesh is basically the strong man of the team. What else did you take from that panel, Justin, about the Eternal stuff and other extra info? Because here's the thing why I like to wait a few days after San Diego Comic-Con stuff. There's more details have been announced. What can you tell us about that, Jesse? And I'm leaning toward a specific graphic that came out about the Eternals.
Yes, no, definitely. Well, a couple of things I just wanted to shout out for Don Lee. If you haven't seen Train to Busan, I highly recommend that movie. It's a really good movie. Yeah. And then Lauren Ridloff, kind of call out there, is she's deaf. She was on The Walking Dead, I think season 9. So that's where a lot of people are introduced to her. But that the fact that they're bringing in a deaf character and a deaf actor is pretty cool. So just wanted to call that out. But what you're talking about, I know, is a still kind of concept image that was released that shows us the Celestials.
Yes. So this is the second time. I think the first Guardians of the Galaxy showed the Celestials. So now we're getting, more. So we know that the the Eternals takes place like 35 millions of years in the past. So when the Celestials first came down to Earth and they did this wacky experiment where they wanted to see what they can make, basically that's where you got the Eternals and the Deviants, right? The kind of the experiment of how they can make humans this super popular race. So man, that's an impressive cast, man. Angelina Jolie's, just fine ass women too. Angelina,
I thought for sure she'd be Cersei, but so that kind of surprised me that they went.
Remember the casting news that reports Millie Bobby Brown. Millie Bobby Brown is how you say it, right?
Yeah,
was cast. And nobody said anything. And then she later on said, no, I haven't. What I'm hearing is she was cast, but they haven't put the name on the dotted line yet. So they couldn't come out and say it formally, but she's going to be Cersei. Wow, so you got her coming off, Stranger Things, Godzilla. Yeah. So she's a hot up and coming actor right now. So it kind of makes sense.
In the next Sherlock Holmes movie with Henry Cavill.
Ooh, she's blown. I didn't even know she was British. I didn't even know that until I saw an interview. She had an accent. I was like, yeah. So here's some more news. That was next up on it, that the next thing that's coming out. And so here's how they did it. They showed 10 things up on the screen and basically showed, and everybody thought, wow, 10 movies. So phase 4 is including 3 movies on the big screen, right? And 7 series that are going to be on Disney Plus. So the first series that they debuted, that's going to be, there's not a concrete date on it, just a time frame, is fall 2020, of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And Anthony Mackie came on stage, same with Sebastian Stan. And who else was on there, Justin? A little callback to a villain from the past.
Got yourself Baron Zemo.
That's right.
Yeah. So Captain America Civil War, we were first introduced to him. Yeah. So that was, everyone kind of was just like, hey, where's his mask? Where's the outfit? But we didn't get that. But they did show concept art and quick photos.
No, actually, so they showed a quick little video of the guy who plays Baron Zemo, and he kind of was in character, and then they showed him in the Baron Zemo mask. So this is one of those rare occasions where you got the double spec of Baron Zemo, right? Because everybody thought he was one and done, but no, he's coming back, and he's going to be the baddie in Falcon and Winter Soldier, which comes out fall 2020. The next movie that comes out, I couldn't even be more excited about this, man. Shang-Chi, the Legend of the 10 motherfucking Rings.
All right, why don't you tell us about that?
February 21, 2021. Donnie Yen is not the Mandarin as we said that he was. What I am hearing, though, is he was in the running for it. But they went with a very, very good actor. If you don't know who Tony Leung is, he is a fantastic actor. He was in the Mood for Love. He was in the most recently a martial arts movie called The Grandmaster. Before that, he was also in another martial arts movie with Jet Li and Donnie Yen called Hero. He's got great acting chops, and his English is almost perfect. I didn't know that about him. I didn't even know he could speak English that well, but his English is pretty well. And what I'm telling you is
Tony
Leung, yeah.
Yeah, he was in the Hard Boiled John Woo movie.
Oh, yeah.
All the way back in
I remember that, the John Woo movie. Yeah.
He is a very decorated actor in Hong Kong cinema. He's almost got that weird Hong Kong, almost British accent because obviously back in the 80s, 90s, it was Hong Kong was a British colony before it got taken over by China. Fast forward to right now, there's a lot of stuff on the news about Hong Kong. Go look at. They want to get away from the Chinese government. So also casted as Awkwafina. They didn't say who she was going to be, but we know Tony Leung is going to be the Mandarin. From what I'm finding out is they picked him over Donnie Yen, because Tony Leung is a stronger actor, and that's no denying. Donnie Yen is great action star, but his acting chops are good. But Tony Leung is a great actor. If you ever seen any of his things, where's your cut? People getting money for the Stan Lee tribute. You do not get a cut, sir. I'll give you a T-shirt though. So here's the thing, and what Marvel did is they casted a young cat named Simu Liu, a Canadian Chinese actor, as Shang-Chi. This was so under the radar. Nobody saw it coming at all. And essentially it's they just picked them. Here's how it went out. Sunday, he read for the role. Tuesday, he got the role. And then Saturday, he showed up at Hall H San Diego Comic-Con. And he is going to be your new Shang-Chi. If you want to see him in action, look at the video I posted most recently. It's a sizzle reel showing him, and he definitely has the athletic acumen for it. I don't know if he has any real martial arts background, but if you're acrobatic and athletic enough, you can get the choreography. Obviously, Finn Jones is not athletic or acrobatic. Another good example of it. You ever seen Tom Holland doing his acrobatic stuff? That shows that, you know, he has the athletic ability to pull off any choreography. So my next guess would be that they hire a really good choreographer to do it, right? Maybe Donnie Yen's stunt team, which is the great stunt team. Yung Woo Ping, who did The Matrix, is another great fight choreographer. And they need to nail that to keep the authenticity of it. What I'm hearing,
think that Ping is connected to the movie.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yung Woo Ping also did the action on Hidden Dragon, Crouching Tiger.
Yep.
He's rather large. I mean, the biggest splash he made in the U.S. was when he did The Matrix. But anybody who's a fan of Hong Kong cinema, Chinese action, kung fu movies know Yung Woo Ping is a great action choreographer. What I'm hearing is Donnie Yen is still maybe up for a role in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. And possibly could be somebody along the lines of Shang-Chi's mentor that teaches them martial arts and the good stuff. The Legend of the Ten Rings is going to follow the more mystical side of the Mandarin. What they're saying recently is the Mandarin has been around all this whole time, lurking in the background. Some say longer than Thanos. So we're going to see some things where he's been watching from afar. The Legend of the Ten Rings of the Mandarin are kind of mystical, almost like Green Lantern, where people bear these 10 rings. They kind of changed it. In the most current iteration of the Mandarin, he's more of a kind of a crime underlord wearing a expensive suit. It's no longer the kind of stereotypical, looking like, the guy from Big Trouble in Little China. You know what I'm saying? We don't. So they're going to go with more the kind of crime lord like the Kingpin, right? He's wearing a suit and he's got his underlings. So this cast that's an amazing cast, and this keeps the folks in China happy because Tony Leung is a great actor. I don't know about Awkwafina. She kind of annoys me every now and then. The Simu Liu cat is
she makes me laugh.
Yeah. Simu Liu is he's in a Canadian sitcom, which people tell me is absolutely hilarious. It's called the Kim Inconvenience or Convenience. It follows like a sitcom that takes place in Canada, and it's on Canadian TV, so I'm gonna have to check that out. Yes, Lopan.
Lopan, of course.
Like, how can I not forget it? But I'm trying to do all the stuff at the same time, James. It's kind of hard, man.
Yeah. Hey, we got to give a shout out real quick, Tim. We got another super chat, $10 super chat from Christopher Donaldson. It said, thanks for the killer news on Machine Man last week. You guys make collecting comics fun again. There you go, man. We like to hear that. That's good stuff. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it, man. We appreciate it, man. I'm telling you, I'm trying to keep up with all this hard work, and because Ryan is not to help me with the production.
What about did they say something, or was this just pander? Where they said that in Ant-Man and one of the Ant-Mans, for the first or second one, some of the gangsters had like a gun that had like 10 rings on it, and they're saying that this has been planned.
I mean, the 10 rings have kind of been sprinkled throughout, so it'd be kind of curious when they do come out with the movie. But they go back and say, and they kind of do retrospectives and say, "Hey, look, he's kind of been here this whole time."
Yes, right.
Next up on the slate for Marvel is WandaVision, spring 2020. This is one of the weirder ones where we are like, "What the hell is it?" We still haven't gotten more. All we know is Scarlet Witch is in it. We're gonna get the Vision is going to be in it. They both came out, and the actress that plays Scarlet Witch said it's going to be one of the weirdest things you've ever seen. So, I mean, my guess is it's going to be close to the shout out to Dave in the Caveman for $4.99 shout out super chat. God, I'm trying to keep up with everybody. Sorry. Remember, it Tom King who did it, right? Who did the Vision?
Yes. The series. Yeah.
That's really weird, where Vision has a family and everything. But Scarlet Witch isn't in that one, by the way. But this is going to be coming out in soon, spring 2020. Man, there's so much to keep up with. I don't even know how they're going to do this. And you know what they haven't even talked about yet is the Hulu stuff, which is coming out. D23, and I got some stuff for that and later in the show if we still have time, because I'm trying to cut through this because it's 35 minutes in. We still got the Black Knight report to get to. Next up, Loki. Spring 2021 is the release date, and all this is coming on. Obviously, sorry, Falcon, Winter Soldier, WandaVision, and Loki are all coming on Disney Plus. By the way, so Loki is coming out in spring 2021. Tom Hiddleston came out. So basically, this is going to take place. Justin, do you know?
Say that again.
When does Jesse? Man, there's too many J's in there. I want to get Jesse involved. When does Loki take place? I do believe it is tied to Avengers Endgame. Yeah,
it takes place after Endgame. There was a scene where they went back in time, and there was a Loki who took the Tesseract and kind of like slipped away. So it's going to follow that story. Where did he go?
This is Loki possessing the Cosmic Cube or the Tesseract, whatever you want to call it. There's been some interesting theories coming out today about, if you look on your screen right now, the actual Loki font on there. And people are already guessing why, because why would they go so far out of the way to make each letter look so different? They're probably saying that it's from different eras in time. You know, so that's really weird. And next up is probably the one I'm most excited for outside of Shang-Chi. Boom! Doctor Strange in the multiverse of madness.
Wow,
and
look at that.
Spells out all kinds of implications.
That's a hell of a name.
So Loki,
that's a hell of a logo.
Comes out in spring 2021. Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness, May 7th, 2021. And I'm going to say with Phase 4, they went really buck wild with the names. I mean, besides Eternals, but Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And I will take this one over because I'm super stoked about this. The director Scott Derrickson came out and was talking about it, and he said, I mean, this actually, before I get to that, I totally left my notes here. I'm sorry, I'm just scattered. Let me see. Okay, so let me go back. You know what? God,
where do you want to go with this?
Let me go back to.
While you're thinking about that, I just want to say that these names I've heard, like some people like, is that like, that's a weird name, but to me they're cool. They're like really like comic book names, you know. They're just
of course
pulpy, like from the 1920s or 30s, like Flash Gordon and let me go back to WandaVision, man, because there's a big thing that I wanted to discuss about WandaVision that we didn't talk about. WandaVision will include Monica Rambeau, played by Tanoia Paris. We saw a young Monica in Captain Marvel. Remember that Monica? She was the daughter and she will be an adult in the WandaVision show. So this goes to the spec earlier of the first appearance of Monica Rambeau, who is the second Captain or third Captain Marvel, the African-American Captain Marvel from the Avengers, who now goes by the name of Spectrum in the Ultimates. So there you go. So now we have the Captain Marvel movie leading directly into this WandaVision, where Captain Monica Rambeau is now an adult, which is pretty cool. And let me go back to Loki. Sorry, man, I should have went with my notes that I don't know why I spend time writing on these notes. So Loki would take place after Endgame. Loki snaps a scepter, slips into time and space, and that's why we have the different things. Okay, now that we're caught up, let's go. Doctor Strange, May 7th, 2021. And I am super stoked about this. So Kevin Feige came out and said, just because Mysterio was lying about the universe doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So it says it right there in the title. And plus, everybody was talking about Beck and the multiverse. Doctor Strange talked about it way back in Doctor Strange #1. Remember, they talked about different dimensions and everything, right?
Yeah.
So Scott Derrickson revealed that this would be the first scary horror film in the MCU. And also, which was a major drop of news, is Scarlet Vision will be in Doctor Strange into the Multiverse of Madness. So that goes back to what you're seeing with now they're kind of moving Scarlet Witch into her magic, right? Because if you remember in the comics, right, she started as a mutant, right? And then they had hex powers, and then full-blown sorcery powers. So she's considered magic. So it looks like they're moving in that direction with her now. So that's pretty cool, man. I'm super stoked for this, man. So, and then, Scott Derrickson also said, hey, we want to make because Scott Derrickson obviously is from horror films. And so he wants to make it the first, and this opens up multiple ways of bringing in different characters from other multiverses, and the Negative Zone, from now that they have the Fox stuff, mutants, and we're going to talk about that later. Actually, is a huge piece of news about Doctor Strange, but I want to get through this news first because the next one is something I'm super stoked about too.
Yeah, this is good
What
stuff right
If?
now.
Coming out in 2021. What do you guys know about What If, yo?
We love it. We love it.
So much
Some great
story.
stories. Some of the best stories out there.
So one of those is really hot right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So What If is going to be coming out as an animated series on Disney Plus. Jeffrey Wright will voice the Watcher. I don't know if it's actually Uatu, but it's going to be Jeffrey Wright. If you're not familiar with Jeffrey Wright, he's the main guy in Westworld on HBO. Great actor. He's got the gravitas and the voice to pull it off.
Mhm.
And it's going to feature pretty much everybody in the MCU. And the reason they can do this, it's animated. So they're just going to be doing voice work. And they're going to be basing all the What If stories on all the Marvel story movies that have been out so far. So it'll be something like, what if Thanos, wasn't defeated? Or what if,
Thor didn't get fat.
Exactly. There's going to be all kinds of stuff. And it's going to be animated. So they could really go real far off with this, man. So I can't wait for this, man.
This is
One of
great.
my favorite comics ever, and it can go really dark. And they showed the screen. Unfortunately, I didn't grab it, but it's going to be huge. And What If is coming out summer 2021. Here's probably the biggest spec of the day. Is Hawkeye coming out fall 2021, and who our favorite female archer is going to show up there, Jesse?
Kate Bishop.
That's right. They showed a little graphic, and actually, who leaked it? Jeremy Renner. He leaked the actual footage of it because nobody could take footage of it. So they showed like a quick little sizzle reel, and it showed Hawkeye, and then they showed Kate Bishop on the screen, and it just blew up. And then Jeremy Renner came out and said, "Yeah, he's going to be training Kate Bishop to be the Hawkeye." What's funny is it's not his daughter. So, everybody who was speculating mad crazy on Avengers Endgame, we told you that, Hawkeye's daughter is not Kate Bishop. Well, it's going to be a separate Kate Bishop. So this is leading the way to a potential Young Avengers movie that we also teased on the Black Knight Report a while ago. But
Think about Loki. There's a kid Loki. If you think about Scarlet Witch, her son was part of the Young Avengers.
yeah, Wiccan, Hulkling,
all connected throughout these shows.
I do
that.
believe I posted my Young Avengers #1 on Top Air Tuesday.
You definitely did. And we've been talking about Young Avengers for almost 10 months now. So, if you guys haven't jumped on those books, or think we're just talking to hear our self-talk, that might be true, but, those books should be grabbing right now.
Oh, Ryan's got jokes. What if Age of Ultron was good? Hey, I enjoyed it. Come on, man. Jeez, Ryan is so angry and bitter. He's got to be a DC fan. So next up is this one was kind of out of left field too. I didn't really expect this title, but we are getting a Thor movie. Thor: Love and Thunder is announced for November 5th, 2021. Taika Waititi is back, and everybody reported that weeks and weeks ago. But they brought back Chris Hemsworth came out there. Tessa Thompson came back there. She's going to be reprising her role as Valkyrie. And what surprised everybody was who else came out next, and who was that, Jesse?
Padme Amidala.
Holy shit! Star Wars and Thor is coming together. Damn it! That's right. Anakin is actually the son of Thor. No, I'm just kidding. So
Natalie Portman.
Yeah, so Natalie Portman came out on screen, and Taika was asked what inspired this film, Thor: Love and Thunder. And Taika Waititi said during the filming of Thor Ragnarok, he was reading a lot of Mighty Thor by Jason Aaron. And he then invited Natalie Portman on stage and revealed that Jane Foster will take up the mantle of Thor. Now, I've been guessing that this is not a real title. You remember, Silver, Captain America's Serpent Society, and then they end up changing it to Civil War because they didn't want to spoil it. But maybe this is it. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's definitely going to change. I mean, this is two Masters of the Universe He-Man logo.
That's totally the logo that they tweaked out.
Flash Gordon. There's no way that this sticks.
What's interesting is if you guys can pull it up on YouTube now, but they showed the actual panels themselves, right? And when the Jessica Chabot from the Nerdist asked them, where did you come up with this name, Love and Thunder? And Taika Waititi was like dancing around the question, you have to love and thunder. And it was like, I don't know if he's really believing what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? So I think maybe it's a placeholder, and it's something that's spoilerific, like like if you say Thor the God Butcher, everybody would know exactly what that was, right? And if you think about the Jason Aaron storytellings, or you could say Thor Goddess of Thunder, or Thor the Death of Jane Foster, or some shit like, you know what I mean? I don't know. We'll see, man. I mean, either way, it's still kind of goofy, like something Taika Waititi would do, but we're getting Thor Love and Thunder, and it sounds dope, man.
Right.
You know, there's already, like, Jesse, what were you saying? The haters already coming out against female Thor?
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of the same verbiage that people were using for Brie Larson and Captain Marvel about, oh, you know, this woman, and did she earn it? You know, where's she been all this time? And here she is, suddenly she's Thor taking up the mantle. You know, all that kind of talk.
It's fine. You know,
I don't think they read Jason Aaron's storyline, because that is a great storyline. Really, very emotional, very thought out. I mean, I thought it was great. You know, here's my casting. Yo, man, we need to get Lady Brianna fucking Toth to play Lady Thor, because obviously Jane Foster is way too slight to be playing
right.
Thor, because in the comics too, she's like old school Thor, where he hits a stick and becomes Thor.
Yep.
Well, I think in the comics, the Jane Foster female Thor is that, right? Because remember, she wears a mask, she's huge and nobody knows she had cancer. So it'd be interesting how they do this, right? If they, you know, make her dying of cancer and everything else like that. So it'd be interesting, man. So we got Valkyrie involved. We heard Angela's going to be involved. So it's going to be really interesting what they're going to do.
Ladies.
Right. You know, I do want to say though, if you've been following this on eBay after these announcements, man, you could go on eBay. You know, 2 weeks ago, you could have gone on eBay and buy the Thor one for $5. Now people are getting 20, 25 bucks raw. And when you want to talk about like comic book speculating and comic book investing, if that's a $5 book and you flip it for 25 bucks, you make it 5 times your money. That's pretty good. You don't have to, you know, buy the big books to get a little bit of a increase. But I think this is a great way to get these books. Now there's none left because Justin bought them all. So
well, he almost bought them all. Didn't he get denied one?
I
denied a bunch of them.
I had 5 in my cart and they all got sniped. So I went on the website and bought 5 of them.
Do you want to shout out the website that denied your sale because there was movie news that dropped?
Yeah, scottscomics.com. Don't ever buy from them, because I literally bought 2 number 1s and a number 8 where she's taking off her helmet and reveals herself.
Yep.
And the email I got back said, "This is movie speculation. I have the right to cancel these orders." And I was like, okay.
There you go. So reverse shout out to scottscomics.com. Yeah. Don't go to scottscomics.com and don't use scottscomics.com. You can go to caroscomics.com or you go to geekyswagshop.com, but don't go to scottscomics.com, because if you buy something and movie news has just recently dropped, he has the ability to cancel your order. Kind of like shady dealings on people on eBay where they, you know, don't pay for stuff. So the only footage of the day that actually came out was Black Widow. And this confirmed a lot of speculation that's been going on. They attached a teaser trailer, included a fight between Natasha and Yelena Belova, the second modern era Black Widow. And also, who else, Jesse, did they confirm to be the film's antagonist?
A little guy that knows how to copy other people named Taskmaster. Tony Master.
Actually, his exact powers are he has photographic reflexes. So anything he sees, he can mimic. So what's curious, the people who saw the footage said Taskmaster mimicked exactly what Black Widow did in a fight. So, you know, that's interesting that they did that. What's also big is finally they announced who David Harbour's playing. He's playing the Red Guardian. So whoever was specking on the Red Guardian, go and pat yourself on the back. Be careful, though. I do believe he's going to be a one and done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Gary was specking on this. He was talking about this book, but he specs on a lot of books.
Yeah,
too,
because
so.
you know, it's either Red Guardian or Omega Red. There's not many Russian characters you can choose from, man. So you know you got to be careful on that. But I would have guessed that he's one and done. So always be careful on these type of villains. So we always say spec on the heroes, not the villains. So Black Widow's made. So I'll throw up here. Here's the final call sheet, man. We'll run it down one more time. So Eternals, November 6, 2020. Falcon Winter Soldier, fall 2020 on Disney+. Shang-Chi in the theaters, February 21st, 2021. The movie is titled Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. WandaVision on Disney+ in spring 2020. Loki on Disney+ in spring 2021. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, May 7th, 2021. What If? Summer 2021. Hawkeye, fall 2021. Thor, Love and Thunder, November 5th, 2021, and Black Widow, May 1st, 2020. So let me see. 1, 2, 3, for 5 movies and 5 Disney Plus shows. So that covers you up to November 5th, 2021. And that's phase 4. They haven't announced phase 5 yet. And they haven't announced, they haven't announced phase 5 yet. And they haven't announced the the Hulu stuff yet, which is, I'm hearing, is going to be coming out on D23. Also, another favorite part of the show I like to do is called Debunking the Funk. There's rumors that came out about Man of Steel #2 and Black Adam being it. False. No, there is no Man of Steel 2 movie in development at all right now. Warner Bros. has no plans with Man of Steel or Superman at this point. What they're doing is Supergirl, but they don't know what they want to do with Superman right now. So we can debunk that. Also, since how much time we got here, boys and girls? Do you guys want a Black Knight report? Should we drop a Black Knight report on?
Yeah, let's do a little bit. Let's do a little bit of
I'm
that.
feeling good, man. It's my birthday.
Let's do it. Why not? Why not?
9 minutes to knock this out. So let's do this, man. So I got some news here that I'm trying to drop as quickly as I can so we don't step on other live shows. What I'm hearing is, should Black Adam be filmed? Although skepticism circles the project because Warner Brothers' chaotic nature and The Rock's busy schedule, that ISIS is being planned as his lover for the Black Adam's movie. She currently appears on TV's Legends of Tomorrow, so they're trying to get ISIS in there. So if you're specking on that, boys and girls, that is Shazam #25. And I think I have it right here. And let me throw up my little banner. There you go. This is Shazam #25 is the first appearance of ISIS. Already a good book to spec on. It's already been picking up, but if you get a chance to pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
So what did you see on that book today?
I didn't look at any books.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. No.
Why didn't you look, Otto? Why don't you make it?
I was hoping, you know what? I thought because you guys already owned it, so I figured, all right, maybe I'll go take a look at it. But
I think it's like a $40-$50 book right now. So
okay,
it's a good amount.
It's a good book. I was looking up actually when I saw this, kind of trying to figure out how soon we would potentially get a Black Adam movie. I think it's going to be a couple years down the road. I was looking at Dwayne's schedule, and he's got Jack Burton coming up in a Big Trouble in Little China reboot, Doc Savage, San Andreas 2, and another movie called King Kamehameha. So he's got a lot of stuff in the works.
Yeah.
King Kamehameha sounds like a place or name. Like, what if that's an actual Namor movie and they just put in that name?
Could be.
Like, but man, that Big Trouble in Little China movie, I think he's producer because he said he doesn't want to be Jack Burton because he would piss off the entire population of geekdom if he tried to play Jack Burton in a Big Trouble in Little China film. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Let me see. Do I have any other things? Okay. Here, let me show this because this is going to be in the news next. Well, let me just go through. Sorry, boys and girls. Finally, I got some news on Kevin Feige and the X-Men plans. The working title for the first MCU mutant film is House of X. Sound familiar? Because it just came out today. Kevin Feige is looking at different ways to rebrand the franchise, especially after Dark Phoenix bombed. Jonathan Hickman's X-Men reboot is being looked at for inspiration from Marvel Studios. Has been given advance access, and Marvel Studios have been given advance access to his plots and scripts. So quite possibly House of X stuff is going to be used, that kind of a work print, because right now they have so much X-Men history in all these movies that they, and the timing of Hickman rebooting X-Men right now, quite possibly setting a roadmap for what the movies are going to do with X-Men. It makes good sense. So it's a brand new book, so pick them up. Otto, there was an actor that was announced for Blade. What's his name?
Oh, geez, here we go. So this was a little quiz today that Tim kind of said, hey, let's try to figure this out, and I butchered it today. Mahala Ali. No, I can't even do it. I can't even say it. I don't want to.
No, just say it anyway. Let's. So here, let me lead this up so he has time to practice it. At the very end of the Hall H panel, an actor came out. He put on a hat, and sure enough, they're going to be doing Blade. They didn't announce any time frame for it yet, but probably phase 5, phase 6. But the actor basically called them up and said, "Yo, I want to play Blade," and they were like, "You know what? You won 2 Oscars. You can have whatever the hell you want." So they're going to try to figure it out. And the actor's name is
I can't. But Mahala Ashala Ali. Is that better?
God, no, try it again though. This is hilarious.
No, okay. This is the last time I'm going to do it because Maher. I can't do it. Forget it. I can't even say it now.
You're on the
Okay.
right track.
His name is
Mahershala.
Mahershala Ali. So
Yes.
I just wanted Otto to keep swearing it out, man. Should have heard the first time he said it. I have the audio, so I'm
So do
gonna
I. I almost played it. I almost played your audio. That's what I was looking for, so I could get away with it.
Mahershala Ali is going to be playing Blade, and I think this is great. He was pretty good. You don't want a Blade-looking character of his? Look at Alita Battle Angel. There you go. He's kind of got the same vibe, like dark glasses and everything. You know, people worried about his age, but you know what? All these Hollywood actors look a lot younger than.
No, he was great as Cottonmouth. You know what I mean?
Is almost 50 years old. Okay.
Yeah.
He's no sticky fingers, though. Let me tell you that.
Yeah. So you know what? There you go. Mahershala Ali. Say it, Otto. Just say it before we leave.
Mahershala Ali. There you
All
go.
right.
All right.
So we actually broke this news a while ago, but we told you that Blade was coming to Hulu. So here's how things are. You know, anytime we say things are subject to change, this is one of those things. So Blade was originally scheduled to show up on Hulu as part of the whole Spirits of Vengeance thing. Well, when Mahershala Ali calls you up and says, "Yo, I want to work with Marvel and I want to be Blade," you say yes. And how much money do you want? Because this is he's got the acting chops. He's got 2 Oscars. So now when you say Blade, starring Academy Award winner Mahershala Ali, so now what I'm finding is Tomb of Dracula, which we speculated on that was coming to Hulu, has been put on hold. Because here's why, and this is pretty big news. Everybody's been complaining about Wesley Snipes not being in Blade. Well, the guy's almost 60 years old, but he owes back taxes. So anyway, Wesley Snipes has been offered the role of Count Dracula in the new Blade film. And that's why Blade has been put on hold on Hulu. And that's one way to get Wesley Snipes into a Blade film. So, you know, they're saying, hey, man, if we want you in it, but if you want to be, you know, a role in it, we can give you Tomb of Dracula. We can give you can be Dracula. And then you have, you know, Mahershala Ali playing Blade. Maybe they're related. Maybe he's half Dracula's son. You know, if you know the history of Blade, at least his mother was human, his father was a vampire. So there you go. So this kind of leads into everything we talked about on the Hulu stuff, that they're going to be developing the darker stuff, the supernatural stuff. Blade makes that bridge just like that. And the shame is that he was coming to Hulu, but now maybe, you know, my man Ray Jr. will be happy because now he's going to be on the big screen, not on the small screen. So that's pretty awesome, man. So let's cut right through this. The next one, this is something that we can spec on. So Black Knight is telling me that because we didn't even talk about this, there's so much news out. Well, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is coming to an end.
Coming right.
Yeah, so not this season, but the second half or season 7 will be the end of the longest running ABC's Marvel series ever. If you think about it, it's longer than anything that ran on Netflix, right? 7 seasons. You know, and I miss it. It's got its ups and downs. And
it was the first one, though. You know what I mean? It really came to the TV at a great time.
So with it ending, and there's been some people speculating on this, but kind of indirectly. If you the end scenes of Spider-Man: Homecoming was Nick Fury on a space platform of some sort, and what's coming, boys and girls, onto Hulu, or excuse me, ABC, is SWORD.
Right.
Let me see if I can get the acronym for this.
Sentient World Observation and Response Department.
Say that again.
Sentient World Observation and Response Department.
What he said. SWORD TV show is being prepped for Hulu after Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So this kind of gives you a show kind of based on agents, you know, and they're more of a galactic police as opposed to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is more on an earthly thing. So with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. ends in the 7th season. It wasn't also Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. wasn't canceled. It's ending. So it told its story, right? It's kind of like Breaking Bad. You know, here's the famous show that didn't know when to end, which was The Walking Dead. It just kept on going and going and going. So a lot of times your show tells its story and you just end it. It's not, you know, then so there and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is definitely, it's time to end it, right? It's storytelling, but so it's ending, and certain characters in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will live on in the SWORD show. So you got that. So this goes more onto what Phase 4 and 5 of Marvel is doing. They're going more cosmic, more galactic, out of Earth, right? You know, Captain Marvel 2, Guardians of the Galaxy. We didn't even talk about that.
Anyway, right now.
How did I even skip that? So, by the way, this is your spec book alert. Astonishing X-Men. This is the first appearance of SWORD. This is Astonishing X-Men. I want to say Volume 3. issue 6.
Yep.
This is the first appearance of Sword, and I think Abigail Brand is she's the chick with like a blue-green hair or whatever. Too many characters with green hair, man. It throws you off. Just like I was just thinking about it. Marvel has way too many blue characters. Nightcrawler, Mystique, and Beast. Of course, eventually they all have to be related because they're all the same damn color. But that's your spec book. And we didn't even talk about this. Jesus, so much news. At the end of the Hall H panel, Kevin Feige just says, you know what? So much news. I didn't even tell you that. Oh, yeah, the Fantastic Four are coming, and so are Mutants. So that it gives you credence to why they're calling the first movie House of X. And this could be similar to maybe it's 2019, and you can't call them X-Men. You have to call them X-People.
Correct.
House of X, X-Factor, X-Mutant, whatever. That's why Kevin Feige specifically said Fantastic Four and Mutants are coming. God, I can't believe I skipped that part. And he also said, oh, by the way, we didn't have enough time, but Black Panther 2, Captain Marvel 2, and Guardians of the Galaxy 3 are coming. so that's why when we say D23 is going to be huge, it's because Kevin Feige didn't have enough time allotted to him in the 90 minutes of Hall H presentation to even cover everything that they're working on. And this encompasses Phase 4, Phase 5. Also, let me give you this update, boys and girls. We've been talking about Keanu Reeves for a long time, and he's still coming. Keanu Reeves, this is off the Black Knight report. Keanu Reeves still hasn't made a decision regarding the MCU. Also, although Keanu Reeves, is leaning towards Adam Warlock. That's who he wants to play. Apparently, his partners in the John Wick films are wanting him to do a Moon Knight movie with them, which would kind of give him the action sequences that John Wick does. So John Wick partners want him to do a Moon Knight movie, which would be greenlit immediately. Obviously, if he wants to play Adam Warlock, they would have to somehow figure out where to fit him in, either in Guardians of the Galaxy 3 or Fantastic Four movie. But Moon Knight could stand on its own. That's why the John Wick guys want him to do it. But ultimately, it's up to Keanu Reeves what he would rather do. What do you guys think of that? Moon Knight or Adam Warlock for Keanu Reeves?
I could see him with Adam Warlock. Long hair, just put some gold on him. I definitely think he's got the chops for that. So what about you, Otto? Oh, Otto's muted. Jess, what about you?
I don't know, man. I still wanted him as Silver Surfer.
No.
That's right.
All right, I'm muted myself. But Jesse, I just want to say I don't think he would fit a Mark Spector. So that's what I don't like. He might be a big good Moon Knight in a costume, but not a Mark Spector at all. So Jesse, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess Moon Knight's tough because he has all these different personalities and you have to be distinctive in each one. I like Keanu Reeves as an actor, but I don't know if he has that type of range to like play all these different personalities.
And that's the one with OG Moon Knight where he's not so psychotic with multiple personalities, right? Just Mark Spector, mercenary, get the fist of Khonshu kind of thing. So, I don't expect an answer soon because he's in the middle of filming Bill and Ted's right now. So hopefully by D23, I'm also hearing The Rock is in that same situation. He's one of those things where he's a super popular actor. He's got a busy schedule, but he's still in talks. He still wants to be Namor. So that's where that's going. Last story of the day, man. This is dropped just today. And it's funny. Black Knight said, yo, man, I'm getting you this as a birthday present to you. So let me tell you how this leads into, and let me put the graphic up for it because I wanted to come back to this. So this is how they're going to introduce mutants into the MCU. This got this news fresh off the presses today. The mutants are coming to the MCU via Doctor Strange and the Scarlet Witch. It's currently being developed, but the plans are for WandaVision on Disney Plus, then Doctor Strange in the multiverse to open up the portal to the X-Men in the MCU. WandaVision will finally explore her secret origin of the Scarlet Witch, revealing her father to be Eric Lensher. Although he might be shown, certainly not as Magneto. In outlines read by sources, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, good Lord, that's a mouthful, is a loose adaptation of, and somebody in the live chat nailed it earlier, is a loose adaptation of House of M, with the character Nightmare tormenting Scarlet Witch's mind. The Sleepwalkers, and we've already alluded to this as well, Sleepwalkers are set to appear in the Multiverse of Madness before the Rick Sheridan version ends up in Hulu. So the Rick Sheridan version is the Sleepwalker version that we were specking on, and he's coming to Hulu at the Spirits of Vengeance. Woo! So that's a lot. How they're going to introduce it. So now this kind of multiverse thing makes more sense, right? This gives them a way to introduce mutants into the MCU. This is amazing. I hope this happens. Obviously, things can change, but how else would you introduce mutants into the MCU, right? You already have Fantastic Four, all the cosmic stuff. Into the Multiverse of Madness allows them to, look at different multiverses, universes, 616. I mean, they've been hinting at this entire time. So now we're going to get that, Scarlet Witch is actually a mutant. Her father is Magneto. And they're going to say perhaps the Fox universe of films is just another multiverse. What do you guys think of that, Jesse?
That's pretty cool. That's a great route to go. And like you said, it opens up so much. Like that could be the same vehicle where Fantastic Four come in, There's just so much they can do with it. And I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I think the Fantastic Four would be easier simply because they could just introduce them, right? They just get these powers. But the problem with the X-Men is they have such a long history already in the MCU and in comic books and everything. Like I originally thought that they can bring them in like the original X-Men. They're, the kids and the gifted school. But I think it's hard for Marvel to ignore so many damn X-Men movies, right? I mean, maybe Dark Phoenix. You try to ignore the hell out of that one. I mean, wasn't that awful, guys? To where
no, it wasn't that awful.
Yes, it was.
The only saving grace of the film was the train scene at the end.
Train scene, yes.
Yeah. I mean, seeing Phoenix develop her powers, but prior to that, it was like, good Lord, it was a bit tedious. I mean, you guys saw my review. I was
your review.
So that's how they're going to introduce her. What do you think, Justin?
I actually think it's great because if you look at it, they were introduced in Age of Ultron. They got their powers from the Loki's scepter. Yep. And if you kind of go back into that, it's like they got it because they were experimented on. Now, so how many people were experimented on before that? And they were the survivors. So maybe the reason why they survived is because they had the X gene. And that kind of, at least alludes to where you're going with the whole multiverse. So that's kind of where they're going to go with this whole mutants.
Dave in the Cave asked, when is D23? It is August 23rd or something like that. It's about a month away. It's going to be in Anaheim also. Already sold out, but I'm trying to get in. So man, if I can get into the damn panel, that would be awesome, man. I do have a hookup to get me into D23, even if it's sold out. I don't have a hookup to get me into the Marvel panel because we know some people that work at Disneyland proper, not Marvel.
Got to do it.
But man, that's exciting news. I was joking that, now we know why DC didn't show up at Hall H. And maybe they got to talk to the Black Knight too. And the Black Knight's like, yo, man, Marvel's about to drop the shit on everybody. And just seeing the reactions on Twitter and then watching the videos, the crowd was hype. They brought out every actor for a group photo at the end of the Hall H presentation. Right. It was everybody. It was absolutely huge. And this kind of goes to people who are talking about, can Marvel survive without Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans? But we haven't even touched the stuff about Hulu yet.
Right.
So,
I just want to talk two things, which I thought was unbelievable, how Kevin Feige just dropped the mic. When he came out and he started talking about the Eternals, to go all the way back to that, he said in true Jack Kirby fashion. So, those storyboards that Jack drew is what they're using, and what Kevin Feige, I believe, is saying is the blueprint. So let's use it. And that was unbelievable. They gave away like 7,000 Black Widow hats. I can't get one. Somebody can't throw me one. But, he just dropped the mic. It was fantastic. I saw it a bunch of times from a lot of different interviewers, and I got a lot of great information from it. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, and you mentioned the hats. That was really cool. That was like at the end when they showed that footage from Black Widow, they had all the hats.
Right.
Everybody put their hats on, and that's when Mahershala put his hat on, except his hat said Blade, and that's how it was announced. So that was a pretty cool way to do it.
Yeah, everybody got like a swag bag for it too. For showing up at Hall H. And, it's kind of cool that, the argument has been, how come Hall H doesn't stream live and everything? But you know what? I don't think it should. It should be something exclusive for the people who slept in line, for a day or two to get the stuff. Like you never ever saw the Infinity War footage that came out. You never ever did. It stayed at Hall H. It stayed at D23. Just like you probably won't see the Black Widow footage, and it's for those folks. Right. But here's the thing, man. We got a lull between films. We got a long lull. If you look at it, we got to wait till November for the Eternals. Or excuse me, Black Widow. Excuse me. So May 1st, 2020 for Black Widow, and then November for the Eternals. But in between that, you'll have the Falcon Winter Soldier. But man, so we only got we got to wait till May 2020,
right,
for the next MCU.
But you know, for Black Widow, we didn't touch on this. We're finally going to find out about Budapest. I mean, how many times was that?
I'm sorry, I didn't even touch on that either.
You know?
It was it's one of those things with crammed full of news. So basically,
But before you get to that, I just want to mention the gap real quick. I think that's where Sony is going to put the third Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, and
interesting.
possibly a Deadpool 3 under the Fox banner.
No, you guys are smart, man.
Yeah, so you're going to have something in between, but Deadpool 3 is definitely going to be rated R, and it's still going to be under the Fox banner, so you're going to see that. And then the Spider-Man 3 is coming out soon. We speculated on that. Black Widow takes place right after Civil War. And she's going to reflect back on what happened during Budapest. And so that's where you're going to see, you know, Red Guardian and all these other characters. So we know it's not post Endgame, so she's still dead. So that's why I'm be careful on specking on Red Guardian. Quite possibly he's one and done. Taskmaster might be one and done as well, because you know that takes place in Budapest. But Taskmaster definitely probably has more
power.
I could see Taskmaster showing up in the Hawkeye series.
Yes.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Or even the Cap. There was a rumor about U.S. Agent being in that show.
That's right. We talked about it. Henry Cavill is also going to be.
Taskmaster's the one who trained U.S. Agent.
Right. He's a very interchangeable character.
Well, Taskmaster is not. You use the D&D term. He is not chaotic evil.
Right.
He's a mercenary. So if you pay him to train superheroes, he'll train superheroes. Shout out to all my D&D players out there. Yeah. But I think that's it. Is there anything else that we didn't touch on?
We blasted through a lot of stuff, man.
Not at all.
Oh, Rachel Weisz is going to be in Black Widow.
There's a lot of Black Widows.
Yeah.
Her character is Iron Maiden, if you want to look that up. I don't know much about her.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure Black Widow protagonists and antagonists are pretty obscure. If you really want to go down that rabbit hole, it's pretty obscure. But you know what I'm saying? So did we cover everything?
We got it all.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff. That's a lot of stuff.
That's a lot to unpack.
Oh, boy.
Only 10 minutes over. Only 10 minutes over, man. What a great birthday party this was.
All right, yeah. Jesse, any last words? First of all, thanks for coming on the show last minute and joining us.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me. This was great. And like I said at the beginning, you know, coming on at a show and we get to talk about all this stuff that was just announced is pretty awesome. So happy to be here. Shout out to everybody, you know, in the chat. You know, feel free to stop over to my channel anytime. It's JLS Comics. If you like content like this, I think you'll like what I put up as well. So, you know, feel free to come hang out over there with me too.
Yeah. Shout out to Jesse and thanks for coming out last minute, stepping up for Dark Side Jedi. Otto, any last words?
Yeah. Shout out to everybody. Jesse, thank you very much for coming on. Just want to talk about 3 Men in the Basement real quick. We've been having a great time on that. We just had a CGC unboxing where Roger got absolutely crushed. So if I have to throw my boy under the bus, but if you want to see true pain, watch the look on his face when he got that. We're actually going to be dropping a preview video because the 3 Men in the Basement are going to be holding our own auction on our channel, and that's going to be next Friday. August 2nd at 9 o'clock. So let's take a look out for that. We've got Terrificon coming through. We've printed up some new t-shirts. So we got Lord's t-shirts, 3 Men t-shirts. We got a lot of stuff going on right now. So thank you very much for subbing up, you know, Lord's and 3 Men in the Basement, guys. It's just been a great show.
Yeah. Any last words, Justin?
I want to thank everybody in the live chat. Of course, everybody who's been tagging us on Instagram with the new Lord shirts. Thank you so much for purchasing them. And anybody who doesn't have it, again, Geeky Swag Shop, get over there, get the 10% LOTLB.
15% off. So it's
15%,
$21 shipped. And these are really great quality. I couldn't be more happy with these. So shout out to Geeky Swag Shop and Otto's boy.
The Green O, Dave Levesque, the Green O. Yep.
Yeah, great shirts,
Thanks,
good quality. When is the next 3? Oh, I'm sorry, Justin. Go ahead.
No, that's it. I mean, like I said, thanks everybody for picking up the shirts and tagging us. I love seeing it. So keep purchasing them, you know, and everybody in the live chat. And like Otto said, 3 Men in the Basement live auction next Friday, 9 o'clock.
And then Terrificon.
Everybody in the live chat, step up your YouTube avatar game. Because, you know, if I highlight you, you don't want to have some whack picture, right? I mean, look at Ray Jr. all swole. Look at him, Ray Jr. all swollen in his picture. Rudy Sanchez. It's got a Pomeranian in there. Daniel Ibarra is just random.
Yeah, Dark Side Jedi is great logo. One of the best logos.
Dark Side Jedi there. So, you guys got to step up your avatar game, man. Dennis Hayes with a nice little, I'll just highlight. I don't want to embarrass you, but Batcave Comics is cool. Comic Book Fanatics is cool. Let me find somebody really embarrassing.
Your name's not getting mentioned. You're no skin.
Our man AG Surfer with the Thanos, right? Look at that. Snizzle Pop with the fist. So James Lewis, our man Jimmy the Human, looking at it. All right, so there you go. Step up your avatar game. So if you want to get highlighted, you're going to be there, man. Sith Lordly, I'm digging that one. That's my buddy right there, man. All right, guys. So thanks for joining us. Check out the Comic Core Unlimited. I do believe they are right on right now. Check out the NY Warriors coming on to you every other Monday. Check out JLS Comics live shows. Is it every Thursday, Justin?
Thursday. Almost every Thursday.
Every Thursday. Check out JLS Comics. They pretty much do the same thing we do, except for they do it much slower because we kind of rush through this.
It's a lot.
So, hey, thanks everybody for joining. I really appreciate all the birthday wishes. You only turned 35 once, so it feels great.
You got older during the show.
I know.
Yeah.
Well,
So you're up 28.
I turned 48 years old today. I don't feel 48. I'm going to be 50 in 2 years.
Unbelievable.
I'm going to be that dude. I'm going to be too old.
I'm going to be there before you, just so you know that. All right. So
yeah, I mean, it'd be amazing where our YouTube channel continues to grow and we're just these old dudes because this is a young man's game, man. We got to step it up to stick up with these young kids, or else they're gonna have to get off the fucking lawn. But Johnny Boy, let's see your avatar. All right, there you go, you Joker. We can dig that. So I